Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. We got some big updates coming, a lot of big things. We'll look back at what they talked about for the first half of 2022. We'll talk about a new playable character. We're also going to touch on some things that we still need to be addressed. Some minor things, well, maybe not so minor to some, so we'll walk through that, but we're going to walk through some of this fun stuff. Again, I think that there's a lot of stuff coming. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad, but there's stuff coming. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below, hammer down like buttons, all that kind of thing, and let's check this out.
Bring me WolverThor!
We're going to start with the Dev Note 7 that was back on January 20th. In this dev note, this is where they were talking about they were going to focus on different things that were coming up in 2022, the first half of 2022. So basically, we've got what, April, May, and then June. So we've got 3 months. We're halfway there, and we're going to look at, from this alone, outside of any speculation stuff, what we got kind of coming. So let's check the boxes first. New fields for Dark Domain, got them, so that's done. Those were enjoyable. I still get worried about how they use these fields because obviously with Pegasus base, at this point you do it and then you got your most wanted and then you're done with it, which is honestly, I feel like a waste. So I hope that they find a way, and we talk about this a lot, Halfsend and I, just about finding ways for them to repurpose these things. There's a lot of good things in game. It's not like they need to make all of these new things. Make something that's usable in some of the content you've already got there. So anyway, that's done. Pegasus base, we'll split this one into two. We got Pegasus base, that's here. We got the expedition, which we were just talking about for auto-completing characters. This part of the game is actually super simple. It's very free to play friendly. But, and I brought this up the other day when we were talking, JS and I were talking about this, is that I still think that it's not necessary, well, it's a new player, you're going to be sitting pretty. Like we've been talking about this. One of the things they did in the last 3-6 months, if you haven't run a new character and you've been playing since either soft or global launch, it's a different world right now in the game if you start fresh. So that gives me some hope for this game because they're clearly setting it up for new players to be able to come in here and have an enjoyable experience, which to me means good things for the game. So if you start fresh right now, I know some people have got a full set. I think they said, it might have been JS, I don't remember, but they were saying they got a full set of Dark Domain. Actually, it might have been Hex, but they had a full set of Dark Domain on their Captain America. Full set. And they were like level 86 or something. And I was like, what? Like how, what? Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't even remember when I got my first regional set. It was to the point where I was like, I'm not even sure I'm gonna mess with that because it's too hard. So the game, in my opinion, is clearly setting up for a situation where they get new characters or new players in that they have a simpler path. They did it with the squad, or not the squad battle, but the battle challenges where you get more rewards for those first time completion, which upset a lot of the existing players. And I hope at some point that they come back and address that or it's either that or they're like, all right, well, sorry, existing players, like all these people get more stuff and now they're caught up to you and actually have more because you didn't get any of that. And sorry, they get the boosted things as they come along. So Pegasus base, the expedition, it's nice, but it doesn't give you the gear and stuff that you got outside of what you're getting that they've added to the game since its launch initially. The armory for some added space. This is okay. I was actually hoping it would be more like I'll call it a squad bank, where when I come in game, I could just, it's like for anybody who's played a different MMO within your guild, you'd have a guild bank where you could just drop stuff in and pull it off, or somebody else can pull it out. You'd have a members, like a free that you could just drop and pull it, and then you'd have like an officer's one where it needs to be locked, and that goes in there. Only certain people can pull those out. I'd like for this to be able to do that on my team, where it's like I don't want to have to keep my badges on this tune and my cores on that tune. Like, let me just have a giant squad bank that is just perfect, and that's where all my stuff is, and then each character has just got its regular 100 that it's got in its bag, that's it, or 190 or whatever you bust your cores up to. Anyway, so those are in there. What's not in here yet is squad battle. Squad battle, man. I've said this a million times and I'm going to keep saying it. I am extremely worried about this game mode. Extremely worried. I think that, one, and I've said this before, is Netmarble needs to decide what sort of game they're making here. And maybe they know, but in my opinion, I'm confused. Do you want MMO single player, build that character up? It's really hard to get the gear for that character, but once you get there and you grind all that way, you've got this character that's good. Yay, I feel super great about my main. I love my main. I feel passionate about it. That's one of the things that keeps people coming back playing these games. Or do you want a mini hero collector? When you get into the squad battle situation, it gets a little more into that hero collector realm. Now, a lot of people like hero collectors. A lot of people like playing one character. Maybe Netmarble's trying to balance both here. I think that's certainly possible, maybe. But the problem is it is insanely hard to build up one character already. So I think I've been playing since soft launch. My Widow is peaks out at 1.6 depending on the build. I min-max like crazy. I think I could have a higher power level there. But the stuff that I have, like I've got plenty of nanos I could put in that thing that I haven't, just because I'm debating whether I want to actually go with a special. But even if I did, I'd be in the 1.7-ish, 1.8-ish realm if I just didn't, split some of my gear into the special path. But even with that, I couldn't do that for another character, or a third character, or a fourth character, or a fifth character for a squad battle. I just couldn't. So, I am really intrigued to see how they do this. I'm going to kind of think off the cuff here, where I would like what they do is if you dedicate your main. My main is Black Widow. And I'm going to have... See, I don't even know if you could do this. I'm going to say it, though, because I was thinking it. But your Widow's 1.7. And then that power ranking goes across the board for your squad. But you've got to build that squad up, and you got to unlock their skills. I could see where that's free to play friendly, or even dolphin friendly. But if they lean it where it's like, all right, well, I've got a Captain America that's 2.2, I've got a Magic that's 1.9, I've got a Black Widow that's 2.3, and I've got Doctor Strange that's 1.6. And then you're facing somebody who's got a 1.7 Widow and a 1 million Spider-Man and a 700k Captain America and an 800k Storm, because that's as high as they can get them. The game mode's gonna bomb. It's just like people are not going to spend the amount of money it takes to build one character. Let me say that differently. Not everybody is going to spend the money it takes to build up one character on a bunch of different characters. So, and this game mode is supposed to come out in the next 3 months. And in my opinion, you're going to have, like, I said this in another video where I helped Shane, who had a bunch of stuff stored, and he saved stuff up for 3 to 6 months of the game and barely got his set to 6 stars. And it wasn't even like good rolls on everything. And this was, granted, it was non-regional stuff. This was like just regular base gear. And I was really like, wow, like that got you nowhere. So how do you think you're going to do that on 2 to 3, 4 to 5 tunes, whatever squad battle is? So I'm really worried about that. But it's coming, big update coming. So we'll see how that shakes out. I wouldn't be upset at all if Netmarble says, you know what? We're not ready to release Squad Battle the first half of this year. We really need to think about it. It's something that needs to sit, and we just don't want this to be... we need to make sure the game's in a good place before we release this, because we want our player base to be happy with it. We want to be happy with it, and it needs to be done well, because otherwise, more people are going to leave. And we don't want that. So we want more people to play. And they set it up, like I said, where new players can get a bunch of good stuff. Next part, Alliance Content Expansion. Supervillains. The Alliance Raid, whatever they're going to call it. This is the biggest thing, in my opinion, that they can release in the next 3 months. They have to nail this. Nail it. No pressure. I know you can handle it, Netmarble, because you're a gigantic company that makes millions and millions of dollars. But this game mode needs to be great. As much as I like PvP in here and there, MMOs, in my opinion, you get a bigger player base through PvE. You need PvE in this game. You need people who don't like PvP to be able to do something. This needs to be done well. You need to knock this out of the park. That's it. I like what they've said so far about like supervillain bosses continuing to come and all that sort of thing. And your alliance, you get to do it. And depending on how many people you get to go in there. Now, if it's only it's 5 alliance party members, that's going to start feeling bad too, depending on how many times people can run stuff. Because if you got your 5 strongest members in your alliance, we're like, well, I want to make it as far as I can. I only get 1 chance a week at this. Sorry, rest of the alliance. I'm going with the 5 biggest. That's going to feel bad for a lot of the other people in the alliance. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'll go with the next 5. And like, so your alliance is going to start having gaps in it where you're going to get your more powerful people getting further. And you see what I'm saying? It's like, there's going to be, you want to be able to let your alliance mates go together in those things and get those rewards in it. And you don't also want to burn out your strongest players and make them carry everybody too. So hopefully it's a giant group of people. It's like, hey guys, we're doing Alliance Raid on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. Be there, be square. We'll do, if for anybody who doesn't make it, we'll do it one more time that week. On Saturday, it's going to be a smaller run, but you know, some of us are bringing our alts in there, Cool. Great. That's good. All right, balancing. This is going to be ongoing nonstop. I think they knocked it out of the park with Captain America, Doctor Strange. I'm hearing both sides of the fence here. I've been talking to a lot of my Doctor Strange friends recently, and they're making a lot of good points for how they feel like like the updates they made missed the mark on a lot of stuff. So I think Doctor Strange still needs some work, but having said that, I've been getting my butt kicked by a lot more Doctor Stranges too. So something's out there that seems to be right. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is, and if it just needs to be a certain play style that maybe some people don't want to do, or if it's just some people have figured out something magical, or they're just super strong Doctor Stranges. They've got all this stuff in here about raid expansion and specialization failure. Obviously that's in the first battle challenge stuff. I'm still upset about this. Give this to your existing players for the love. The most wanted spawn, that's great. All this stuff in here is just all improvements that we've got. So happy about that. So that was the stuff in there. So the biggest thing we're waiting on here is Alliance Raid and squad battles probably are the things that we've been waiting to see the most. But again, I wouldn't be mad if they pause that squad battle, to be honest with you. So now the other thing that we're going to talk about, new playable character. Okay, let's jump into that. Okay, so new playable character. I think everybody has got their guesses. I've got my guesses. This is where my guesses start. Okay, I think that the game needs a boost. I think it needs, you know, something that, you know, a lot of people are excited about. This would be one of them. I think it just makes sense. I think it's a pretty cool character. I think he'll have, you know, all sorts of different abilities that are different. I mean, I guess he'd be a little widowish. But I would love to see Deadpool in the game. They obviously hinted at it. For this reason, I think, you know, the chance of them doing it, they could troll us longer with Deadpool. I could see this kind of being on hold a little bit, but I don't know. I like the idea of Deadpool. We'll see if it happens. Scarlet Witch. Could she be in this game? I would love to see her in here. I don't know if she'll be in it. If they do her right, I think it could be awesome. I like her character. I think she's got some insane powers. Trying to think like the mystic art. I mean, yeah, it's Doctor Strange-ish, but this could be very, very different. It could be a little bit more chaos magic, if you will. And I'd like to see that, frankly. This is the problem, though, and I'm going to get into this in a little bit, is people aren't going to be as excited about newer characters because, why? Of how they handled the first one. So, and I mean that by mainly transmuting and stuff. People just, you want people to stay hyped about characters. You don't want to get them in and it's like, people are just gonna be like, cool new character. I'll run the event and then stop. That's not what you want people. You want people to be excited about your character. You want them to play your character. No matter, they knocked it out of the park with the animations on Magic. So we want to make sure that they do that again with the next playable character that comes in. I don't know if, I don't know. We'll see. So, other potential playable characters in my mind that we could actually see. Now, you got to think about what do they have in game that, and let's actually look in game for a second. So looking at the type of characters we have, we've got a lot of flying characters. There's only 2 walkers, which is one reason why I think Deadpool might make a bit of sense. Or really 3 with Magic, but gosh, she goes so fast it feels flying. So, you know, in that sense, feel like it could be a walker type. Personally, I'd love Wolverine, obviously, but I think that, you know, you got sort of a brawler here. You've got assassin, brawler-ish. You've got flyer, you know, magic type. You've got flyer, mystic arts magic. You've got flyer brawler. Let's see what, I don't even know what the call started. Flyer, trap, CC type, brawler, walker brawler, flyer, just glass cannon. And then you got a walker, sort of magic-y brawler-ish. So when I think about new potential characters in here, I like the idea of Scarlet Witch for the mystic reasons. You know, going back to thinking about what's, you know, out there for Marvel, it's like Marvel characters that are, you know, potentially out there that are popular. I mean, how off the cuff are they gonna go? You know, are we gonna get somebody like Longshot? Are we gonna get somebody like Human Torch? Are we gonna get, I mean, are they gonna add somebody like Fantastic Four in here? I don't know. I mean, I feel like that could be a bit of a stretch. You know, Cyclops, that could be interesting. You know, I don't see them doing enemy, like the anti-hero type characters quite yet. I don't know how offbeat they'll go with. I mean, we have all, I mean, Black Panther, man. Could you imagine if they brought Black Panther in? I don't think they're going to do that quite yet, but that would be cool. Ant-Man could be sort of cool to bring in. Let's see. We've got, I don't know if they're going to do any more spider type stuff, but we'll see. I mean, let's see who else go. Iron Fist? Maybe. You know, I wonder about stuff like Nova as well. I don't know. I mean, maybe an Inhuman. Miss Marvel. You know, that could be interesting. What about Miss Marvel? She's coming out with a show. You know, it's something that I think Marvel is hoping kind of attracts some younger people into the game. I think she'd be, I don't know. I mean, she'd be sort of like a, I mean, she'd swing her arms to like grab stuff like Spidey. She can move around a lot. She's a brawler. I don't know if anybody's played, I forget the name of it, but that Switch game where it was like, you could play her and she could just like spin and spin and spin with this light. It was an awesome farm technique. So I don't know. I've got a lot of thoughts for what it can be. I think we're going to start hearing stuff on it maybe soon. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Fingers crossed that they say something. I'm always going to hope for my Wolverine until they prove me otherwise, but I know that I'm not going to get it. So to end this video, one of the things that I sort of want to talk about, well, two things really, is magic, transmute. I think that they're going to make this coming soon. I think that they're going to realize, like we've all been saying, that this needs to come out now. They need to stop waiting for it. They need to get this thing done because they realize it just takes too long and people are going to get sick of waiting for characters to transmute them. So I'm hopeful that they actually do this in the near future. Now, I'm guessing, but I'm saying this based on the way that I'm seeing the game being prepped for newer players, that they are absolutely holding on to this game. It wants to stay, and I still think they're going to do like a mini re-release of this thing, and they're going to sort of try to get a whole bunch of people involved in it. And I think that will be, and my hope is that they just knock it out of the park with it, and the game's in a really, really good place at that point, and we'll all be really happy. I mean, that's the way I kind of hope, right? So Magic Transmutes, I say it's coming soon. If it's not, let's get to the streets, break down doors until we do get it. And on top of that, while we're there, bugs. So one of the things that I wanted to show you guys here, there's 3 bugs that are driving me nuts. I don't know if it's happening to you. So please post this everywhere you see it and ask them about it. So anytime you are on a map in Dark Zone, it doesn't seem to happen as much when you're in the regular world, but whenever you're clicking around, it like the game locks up where you can't click and go to a spot. I don't know why it is. I don't know if it's on all servers, but the way it works is like when you're on this screen, you click here, but you're in Dark Zone, and I want to go, you know, to this teleporter. It won't actually click, and I'll have to click somewhere else. Now here on these maps, it works fine. On all these other maps, and forever in the game, it's been working just fine. But for some reason, in Dark Zone, it's not. And I don't know why. So please fix that. There's also a portal at the bottom right of Dark Zone where if you go to it, sometimes it bugs out, and I'm going to waste some of my Dark Zone time doing this. because, well, except for it's closed, I can't show you it. But when you're looking on the map in Dark Zone, just pretend this giant map's Dark Zone. In the bottom right here, there's a portal down there. And when you click it, you'll get stuck in it and your character will just hop up and down nonstop and you can't leave the zone. Or you can't leave the portal. And fix it. Anyway, that needs to be fixed. If you're experiencing that problem, please comment in the comments below or come to Discord and let me know. And two things I also don't want us to forget is, what about those 10 minutes where people got lots of stuff? I'm not going to let you go on that, Netmarble. Like, we need to know what's up with that. Like, honestly, I expect to hear something soon on that too, but I'm not going to let you guys forget about it. Please, let's all together make sure that they don't, because we all deserve to make sure the game is in a fair and good spot, and that's part of that. And like I mentioned earlier, those battle challenge first time rewards getting such a buff. Why can't you buff all of us? It feels bad. We want to feel good. We want to feel good. Make us feel good, Netmarble. We'd appreciate that. That's all I got. So I think the big stuff's coming. We'll see how it all shakes out, and we can kind of just go from there, right? Let me know what you think the new character is going to be. Let me know if you think that some of this fun stuff's going to be happening sooner rather than later. I'm going to go hang out with the kids for a bit, and appreciate you guys. Let your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, grandmas, grandpas, all those people know about the game and the channel. Hammer that like button, click notification bell, subscribe. So next time, hope you have a wonderful day. See ya.